Hi, my name is Lisa Ward, and I'm running for office in Alabama. Many times we fail to realize how critical exercising our voting rights are. We often see in our climate things that make us feel like our vote doesn't matter or count. And I'm here to debunk that myth and tell you countless times a race was too close to call, and it could have been your vote that made the difference. State laws change, and while we are not paying attention, often they affect our voting rights. For example, there's a law in place that basically says if you don't use it, you lose it. But what does that mean? It means if you do not exercise your right to vote in 2 consecutive federal elections, the Secretary of State has the right to purge you from the eligible voter registration database. Now, for that reason alone, we don't want that to happen. Voting is a responsibility that we have to show interest in sustaining our freedoms for democracy in this country. And the moment that we stop caring about those fundamental rights, authoritarian government can slide in and our voice is gone. Each generation owes this pay it forward effort to protect what others before us have provided us, and it is our responsibility to do the same for those after us. So I want to spend a few minutes explaining to you something that many might not have attempted to do. I want you to understand how important all elections are, how critical knowing individual candidates are, forgetting about a straight ticket vote, and taking the time to hand select each candidate that has put themselves out there for public service. They deserve our effort to look at their name on that ballot and be counted. That happens when you color in their dot on election day. This is one way to prevent voter fraud and hindering anyone tempted to split your ticket by coloring in a circle that you might have overlooked. Let me give you an example of why all elections are vital, especially midterm elections. That is when people aren't paying attention, but there are no electoral college votes interfering with our choices. It truly is one voice, one vote. And we need to take advantage of that. When you don't vote, you decrease the number of voters that are counted, and polling locations are reduced because of it. There is no need for them if no voters are showing up to vote at those locations. One more thing, just as another example of why your votes do count. In our climate today, folks haven't been very happy with police officers and the jobs they're doing. I hope you realize the sheriff that you elect or don't elect hires and determines the officers in your neighborhood. So that can be prevented by making sure that you know the leader of that department is worthy of our votes. So let's get started. I want you to understand what elected officials are responsible for and how their roles affect your life. Let's take it local, shall we? Let's talk about the commissioners. The county commission chair, it presides over the commission and authorizes funds that are drawn from the treasury. The county commission authorizes bridges and infrastructure and determines allocations of budgets that go throughout the county. The county sheriff is the chief law enforcement officer for the county. He or she oversees the county's law enforcement department, including deputies and administrative support. County sheriffs typically enforce the law in unincorporated areas within a county, but they also provide law enforcement services to municipalities that do not have their own police departments. County sheriffs are in charge of county jails. They are sometimes called upon to serve subpoenas, protection orders, and eviction notices. The tax assessor basically determines the value of property for tax purposes. The assessor is responsible for identifying property and its owners, listing property values on the assessment roll, and applying legal exemptions. The tax collector in our counties basically are the collectors for bills that collect county property taxes. It's that simple. There's more, there's others out there, but I wanted to give you an idea of what the local county positions are and do. So do me a favor as a taxpayer and a registered voter, make sure you're active, make sure you're paying attention, and please make sure that you're voting and exercising your right so that you use it and not lose it.